thank you, everybody, for having a listen to us again. Hopefully you came back for another one. We are on the RAGS, figuratively speaking. And the reason we're on the RAGS is because we wanted to be. RAGS is an acronym for
Risa,
Amy,
Gloria,
Sloan.
and what we do is take headlines from the RAGs that we think you all might want us to share with you.
Yeah,
about.
these are sort of maybe potentially a little bit more obscure headlines that may have gotten overlooked with all of the big problems in the world that we're going to fill you in.
Yeah. That's what we do.
and
That's what we do.
anyway, sometimes you want to hear good news, don't you?
Or weird news or disgusting news or exciting
That's
news
true.
or
Disgusting.
Funny.
different.
We just want to have fun because
Okay.
that's what girls want to do.
Girls just want to have fun.
They do. So anyway, here we are. And now we get to join the bazillions of other podcasts. But we're fun, as are other podcasts, but we think we're funnier.
Yeah. it might be.
Do you have a headline for us today, Risa?
I do, and I probably have to read a bit of this because as a non-drinker, so there was a bottle of Bordeaux aged in space, and it's expected to sell for $1 million. It went to the International Space Station and was there for 14 months, and it's going to be sold at a Christie's auction.
Wow.
I had read before, not here, that the money was going to go into the space program for space.
I read that too.
Right? But it's
Mhm.
not in this article that I
Okay.
have right here. But it said that they've had a lot of inquiries. This is unique because it will appeal to wine connoisseurs and to people interested in space exploration. But anyway, if you have this amazing bottle of wine, the likelihood is you have to have a great meal with it. And this is what we have to say, or where you should go for that great meal.
Oh, you should go to Craig's. Our first sponsor, somewhat of a sponsor. Have you all had Craig's vegan ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
All of us
How
live on it.
incredible is it?
On a 1 to 10?
incredible.
On a 1 to 10.
100.
11.
A gabillion, right.
Yeah.
Well, now you can get it at Gelson's and Bristol Farms, I think, which is kind of LA local. I'm not sure how far out of LA you can get it in retail.
Yes, we don't have it in the boondocks here.
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
It is vegan ice cream. They have 4 amazing flavors. Killa Vanilla. I love they're all very LA based. Melrose Mint Chip.
Love that.
That's a good one.
That's
That's
a good
that's
one.
my favorite one. Kirsten's PB Crunch, which is also really good, which is named after their head chef. Sunset and Strawberry. And they have a new one, Perfectly Chocolate, which I have not had yet.
No.
But
Oh,
I'm
I have
probably
to
going to have it
say,
tonight.
Geezer Butler
Yes.
Yes.
loved the sunset
Sunset and Strawberry.
Yes.
He's
At our
another-
house.
Do we know him?
Changed his life.
Yes.
Must have changed
Kind
yours
of.
too.
Life-changing vegan ice cream. Does not taste vegan.
Nope. Does
What
not.
does taste vegan mean? I
Well,
mean, vegan is delicious.
Vegan is delicious, but I think some people think that vegan would be less than or something, but it's made with cashews, so it has that like yummy,
Sweet kind
yes.
of.
creamy, rich flavor. But it
By
also
the way,
has
I
less
have a little
sugar.
story to tell you after when you finish your
Oh, good. Okay.
story about vegan.
So it's certified kosher, all gluten
thank
free.
God.
I know, and all natural ingredients.
And it's really good with this $1 million bottle of wine.
Wouldn't it be? It would probably would be.
bet.
How sad would it be to crack the bottle of wine and then you drink it and then it's done? And you're like, well, that was $1 million.
I guess you keep the bottle.
Probably could have
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people that love
funded a school.
I don't know.
or-
I don't know. But people that love wine, don't they spend a lot of money for bottles of wine?
I guess
Not
so.
that much.
$1 million though.
I don't
Doesn't
know how
that
much a
seem
great bottle of
crazy?
wine costs.
Is it just one bottle in space, or is it like
One.
a whole
One.
bottle?
And our first guest,
good
we should have asked him about that bottle of wine, but I just read about it this week.
And you don't get to
Yeah.
go up there to get it from the space station
It came
yourself?
back. It came
Oh.
back.
Yeah.
They sent it up with some astronauts, came back with some astronauts.
Hmm.
Or maybe it came back in just a cargo
I wonder if it
vehicle.
would be fizzy. Like, what if it's going to even be good? If it's not good, can you get your money back?
Huh. On Amazon?
I wonder if you could insure it. I have friends who popped a crazy expensive bottle of wine. It was like $8,000 or 13,000 or something crazy, and it was bad. But it was
Oh.
insured, and they got their money back.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Who insures their bottles of wine?
Well,
People who have
for that amount of
crazy-
money.
They had it for like an anniversary, a very special anniversary. I mean, they're massive wine collectors anyway.
See,
Anyway, so I think they have lots of specific bottles maybe insured.
Well, I
but-
guess in case anything happened to your stolen or house,
Yeah,
caught
I guess,
yeah,
I
catching
guess.
a fire,
yeah.
anything,
I
you'd have
guess.
a very
Uh,
high net worth collection insured. you
Which
know.
leads me to a question. Again, since I don't really know, since I've always been a non-drinker, does champagne go bad? Like, you know how you store wine?
I think
We
so.
have
Yes,
wine
it
that's
can.
stored-
It can go
Yeah,
bad,
'cause I have
especially if
bought-
it's not at the right temperature, kept at the right temperature.
Which would be what?
When my father passed
Cold
away,
temperature.
he collected and collected. He didn't drink, but he collected all this wine.
Wow.
But he kept the house when he was gone hot,
Yeah.
and he didn't keep it in a wine. He didn't have a huge wine cellar, so it was boxes and boxes and boxes underneath the staircase, trash
Oh.
Hmm.
of
Yeah, see, I keep
so much wine.
I keep the wine and champagne in a closet that's probably room temperature.
No, that's no good.
Yeah, and the champagne's been there for years and years.
No
Yeah.
good.
Chuck it. Just chuck it.
Yep.
Or give it to somebody as a gift.
Yeah, but then it'll be
Well, not
bad.
as
when
a
it
No,
gets-
no. Then it's
Give
bad.
it to somebody who would drink it, and then
Not
they
know.
can try it, and then if
No,
it's
you
bad,
can
you
open
will
one
give it to
bottle,
you.
but
No, I'm
it's-
not. I'm just
chances
not
are
gonna
it's
buy-
no good.
Yeah,
Chances are it's not. Okay. That was my headline.
yeah.
But I've learned something
Yeah.
in this, right?
That's what
Okay.
we're all about.
Right. Do you have a
Yeah.
headline?
I do have a headline. It's kind of an interesting story. I mean, the headline is "See fewer people, take fewer showers." And so the story is about how the pandemic has kind of changed people's hygiene habits. So my question to all of you is, do you feel like you've taken less showers because of the pandemic?
Well, I never took a shower.
What?
What?
No, me neither.
I
You
never
take
shower
baths?
You
Me
take
neither.
baths?
Okay.
every
bath.
night.
I can answer this sort of because I probably take 2 showers a day
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
I swim in the middle of the day. So I have to take a shower after that. But what I started doing, because we live in California and there's a water shortage anywhere, and there's a water shortage in the world, I have taken buckets when taking a shower so that the water catches in the buckets, 2 buckets, and leave them in the shower. Take a really quick, I take very fast showers. And then I take those buckets and I go outside and water the plants.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it's really cool.
Oh, that's
That's
very
good.
What about should we ask Fred Curry what he does?
While he lets the water
Well,
run
he just
for
lets
a
the
long
water
time.
run and run. I think
mean-
sometimes he likes to let the water run like he's going to take a shower, but then just doesn't take a shower. That's probably what he does.
He's just tricking you so
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
think he's
So
taking
I
a shower.
think he's taking a shower.
Yeah, I get it. I actually early on when I first started dating Michael, I tried to have him invent something that would take the water from the excess water in the shower and lead it outside to water the grounds. Like gray water. Gray water is
Oh,
good. I
that's
don't
okay.
Sure.
I water the plants with, when we have glasses of water
Yeah.
and you don't finish it, I water the plants with what's left over
Yeah.
That's good.
I love that.
in
Me
the
too.
house.
Yeah.
So we should all be mindful of
We should. And this
Fred.
this
She's a
whole article-
conservationist.
Fred.
Risa is.
She is. Yeah.
She
Well, they talk
is.
about how showering every day as it evolved kind of turned into a sign of wealth or something because you could afford to take a shower every day. But a lot of cultures take 1 shower a week.
there be days and things like that.
Yeah, they had bidets, right. Or they just sort of like sponge off, parts. I don't know. I like a shower every day. Every
and I feel
single day,
bad that I
whether I
take
see
2.
somebody or not, but I make it quick.
Yeah.
As quick as
my
possible.
showers take I swear 3 minutes.
Yeah, me too. Really
Well,
quick.
I like to sit in a bathtub for at least 15 minutes.
If I did that, life
So you
would be
should-
better.
You need to take that water from the bathtub in a bucket and go outside.
How am I going to do
Okay,
that?
Gloria.
You'll get muscles doing it also.
You
Get-
could.
get,
do you have a?
No, I don't.
Do you have a
No.
window in your bathroom? Maybe you could like do a suction hose out the window.
That's what I wanted Michael to do. I wanted
From
him
the
to have a
tub,
thing that would go
out the
all the way
window.
out
No,
the window.
no problem. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
Always thinking right here.
Okay.
Oh, but no, it's interesting. I quit doing a lot of other things
Yeah.
during the pandemic, but
Like what?
I quit doing my roots
Oh,
as
that-
much.
We did that already. The DIY?
No, no, but
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh.
saying there are
I did
things
not
that I
quit doing my
did
roots.
quit.
Yeah. I get
Like
it.
I quit putting on makeup.
Yeah.
Why?
Invested in some extra stretchy pants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that.
Those
Yeah.
days are over.
Yeah.
Long gone, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Not long gone.
Thank
but Not
God.
even totally gone, but
Not
getting
even
there.
gone. Yeah.
That's an interesting headline, though.
Close to gone,
Do you have-
hopefully.
Do you have a headline?
Well, I do.
What's yours?
Well, my headline, which I can really relate to, is a man accidentally texts,
Oh.
"You have some weed?" to his probation officer.
Oh no. He could be like, ha ha. JK.
Just kidding. A Georgia man is back behind bars after mistakenly sending a request for marijuana to the worst person imaginable. Alvin Cross Jr. of Albany accidentally sent a text message reading, "You have some weed?" to his probation officer.
Oh.
Cross was on probation after being sentenced to 15 years in prison for an armed robbery offense in 2006. And there, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God.
I've
Wait.
sent but
Every
sometimes-
day.
Well, sometimes it jumps. Like the person below it. You click
Yeah.
on that, and
Yes.
it jumps to below.
Yeah.
One time years ago, I had an assistant, and her name was Vanessa Perez, and I was sending her a text about something I needed her to do in the office, and I accidentally sent it to Vanessa Redgrave.
Oh no.
And she wrote back to me and said, "I don't think you intended this for me." I mean, it's kind of funny. It's a funny
so
story.
Funny.
Yeah,
So funny.
I wouldn't go to
Wait,
jail.
is there something that Risa has clients that only look like her? I
know,
mean,
it's
She
funny.
what
wasn't
is
my
it?
client.
Oh.
I wish she
Okay.
was my
well,
client.
have
but-
phone numbers of people.
Oh,
Vanessa, we have Cher. We could go on, and you guys all look alike.
that's funny. But I've done this before. You have to be
All this-
really
every day.
careful. Look at it really
Mhm.
carefully.
Every time before I press send,
oh,
I quadruple check because I've done it so many. I've sent the wrong email.
and
Yeah.
how many
Or
times have I
sometimes-
said, like, on your email, when you have like feelings, really intense feelings, press save draft and look at it the next day.
No, I can't
Yeah.
do that. I have to just press send. If I'm feeling it, it's going. But
Does that ever
so
get you in trouble?
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time,
Yeah.
but I can't help it. That's just part of my impulsive nature. But how many times have you wanted to reply to the sender
Oh, you
and
reply
not
all.
everybody, and you hit reply all?
Well, that's how
and you
people
just-
in our business have gotten
Yes,
fired
yes.
recently.
yes,
Got to
Oh,
be
really?
careful.
Replying
Got to
all
be
and
careful.
went to all kinds of people and saying offensive
Yes.
things that you may have intended for only one person to see.
yes. We could.
The
there are-
lesson is maybe don't put in writing anything that you might
Yeah.
regret.
Right. Say it. Call
How
us.
many
Say
times-
it,
I agree.
make a
How
phone
many
call.
times
I
have we
agree.
all heard that?
Yeah.
And probably even preached it to others, but not practiced it ourselves
Yeah.
Mhm.
every day.
No, but you really have to.
I'm
You
gonna
really
start.
do. For
Mhm. I'm never going to ask my probation officer for weed ever.
At least not in writing.
Yeah, no.
Just call him. Just call him.
That's a good story, though.
Yeah, it is good.
Oh, Sloan.
it's
all I have.
always in the cloud. It's always in the cloud. Don't
Mhm.
forget.
That's true.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
goodness.
don't
It's
even know what that
saved
means,
forever.
really.
They can find it.
It's out there.
Like,
If you've typed it,
It's
if
out
you've
there.
written it, it's out there.
But if you have a
It
Sam,
can be brought up for any lawsuits you're
but if
in.
you don't
for
have an
anything.
iPhone, if you have an Samsung, for example, it doesn't have
There's
a
still
cloud.
an iCloud.
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
I think there's a Samsung
I don't
cloud.
know. I think there is.
The
I think
government,
everything
the
has a
government
cloud.
can,
Yeah.
the government can track it.
Yeah,
Like in other
Yeah.
words,
totally.
if somebody, in the future when you run for a political office and they have to check your background,
Right.
Well, that's why I use a burner phone personally. You can't be too careful ever.
No, no, you can't. And we do want you to run for mayor, but that's a whole other story about California. Sloan,
Ooh.
do you have a headline?
Yes, darling, I do.
Okay, good.
So in Bloomberg Business Week, there is a great story moving to another mogul besides Bill Gates on another kind of still a little bit of a sleaze factor. This is the untold story of how Jeff Bezos beat the tabloids. So not only is he a brilliant businessman on a unbelievable global level, as we're talked about Musk and Gates, but he's a gritty guy. So this subtext is when a gossip rag went after the CEO, which was during the Lauren Sanchez scandal. He retaliated with the brutal, brilliant efficiency he used to build his business empire. And an exclusive excerpt from the new book, Amazon Unbound, comes an unrivaled tale of money, sex, and power. Anyway, it's quite an unbelievable story about how he was going to stop at, don't fuck with Jeff Bezos is the bottom line on what they were trying to, it was actually Lauren Sanchez's brother.
Oh, I saw that.
That sold the story. She was confiding in her brother about, oh my God, the richest guy in the world is after me.
And sending dick pics.
And they weren't real. They were not. No, they weren't.
But that's what they said.
Right. Because Michael Sanchez went on rent.men, took a picture of a dick pic and said it was Jeff Bezos.
But why'd you whisper that?
To extort money out of David Pecker.
Oh, that's terrible.
And the tabloid.
Pecker is
David
the operative
Pecker,
word,
who actually was the one who was the catch and kill stories with Donald Trump and his girlfriends. Anyway, it's a great story if anybody wants to go. The untold story of how Jeff Bezos beat the tabloids.
I love that.
Bloomberg
He beat it with
News
honesty.
Business Week.
He just he spilled the story before they could.
but did he hang out?
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah,
That's exactly
which I think is so
That's what
brilliant.
you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is-
he's smart. He's smart and understands the
that's
navigation of people.
Yeah.
and
Right.
he never hung out
Oh,
with
so
Jeffrey
he has
Epstein.
so much wealth. It's,
Right.
you can't take me down. I can hire every lawyer on the planet.
Yeah. But even better to just pull the rug out from under them.
Yeah, right, right. That's what he
don't
did.
even let them get that far.
Right.
I've
Yeah,
learned
right.
a
I
lot.
love it. That's
I've learned
cool.
a lot
Yeah.
of this by watching Billions.
Yes. It's a
Oh, my
good show.
favorite show. My favorite show.
What a great show, isn't
can't
it?
believe
Oh my
I've not
God.
watched
First
it.
of all, I'm so in love with Damian Lewis. I
know,
can't tell
I
you.
So
know.
good.
And I love Paul Giamatti. I mean, everybody on the acting
It's
is
great.
brilliant. The writing is brilliant.
The writing is
Actually, one of the
Brilliant.
writing, the guy who writes for it lives right
Right.
underneath us.
The
in LA.
writing is brilliant, and you can learn so much about the financial world. Their brains, the writers' brains, so interesting.
So good.
I read a
Those
story
guys
about
are great.
those creators, and they were thinking about pitching the show to different networks, and they thought no one will get it. We have to tell it the way we want to tell it. So
I actually
they just
watched
did
the
show
episodies
themselves.
over and over.
So
I love
fascinating.
writing.
Okay, I'm starting it tonight. I have to
Yeah.
be the only person that hasn't seen
It's just
it.
genius.
Oh my God. It's genius. I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Every
anyway, you
episode.
can learn about how to what they do to get away from stories that might be bad stories about them. Just everything that.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really.
But do you want me to
fascinating.
tell you a funny TV story?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So the other day I had lunch with a friend and she said, we always share especially English crime drama stories, but we always share what we're watching at the moment. And she said, you have got to watch White
Oh,
Oh, it's the best story.
Tiger, I thought she said.
White
So I wrote
Tiger.
it down.
On
I wrote
Netflix.
down what she said. Yeah, on Netflix. So when I got home, I said to my husband, we have to watch White Tiger tonight on Netflix. He said, oh,
But he
okay.
couldn't find it.
So, no, he did.
Oh.
He found White Tiger on Netflix. We watched it and loved it. So I texted her
Long show.
afterwards and said, Judy, thanks so much. We loved White Tiger. She said, what? We loved it. We loved the show that you told us about. And she said, what'd you watch? And I said, White Tiger. She said, oh, you mean White Dragon? Did you watch White Dragon on Prime? I said, what are you talking about? I said, you told me to watch White Tiger. She said, no, I didn't. So I looked up in my notes what she said. And lo and behold, White Dragon
On Prime.
on Prime. So I said, okay, well, trust me, you have to watch White Tiger. I don't know how I did this and whatever. She said, White Tiger. She said, Gloria, I watched a couple minutes of that. It was the most vile thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, Judy, there's no way you could think that's vile. She said, how, being an animal person, how could you like somebody that houses tigers? I said, what are you talking about? White Tiger is
Who's
about
on first? What's
Yeah.
on second? I
Yeah.
don't know who's on third.
White Tiger is about an Indian guy that, becomes a servant. And she said, oh, she thought I was talking about Tiger King.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
So,
I get it now.
so we
So
had
many
like
layers
three.
of
Yes.
confusion.
How crazy is that? So that night she ended up watching White Tiger.
It was great.
And loved it.
We have to
But,
watch that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
White
wait.
Tiger and White Dragon.
Yeah, both.
Yes.
So do we have segueing
Not
into
Tiger King.
segueing into your pet peeve? Is that right? Pet peeve.
I have a pet
Raggery.
peeve.
Raggeries.
I do have a raggery. Well, yeah,
What-
it's a raggery. I
what do you-
wasn't sure what it was, but
I don't have one.
you don't have one? You're
No.
not. You're all of a sudden the happiest person in the world. You don't have anything to rag on?
No.
Well, mine is kind of sad and kind of not.
Oh no.
But mine is how you shouldn't ever judge people.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I know, but I do. And I think we all do. Well, Amy does for sure.
For sure. I'm super judgy.
I think Risa's the least judgy. Sloan,
Probably.
Sloan's pretty judgy.
Yeah.
But
Who
anyway,
did-
My
who did you-
God.
Anyway.
I'm getting a very bad rap.
Who did you judge?
okay, this is kind of sad.
I only judge you.
So I went to Starbucks. Surprise, surprise. And
Is that
when
why
I-
you were late? Sorry.
I wasn't late today.
I know. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I was.
Yes, you were.
I
No,
was.
no,
It's
it
my
was
fault.
Risa
You
today.
and Risa.
No,
My
it was
fault.
were
Risa.
late.
My fault.
Me and Amy had a whole lunch while we were waiting.
Bloody fucking da. So I went to Starbucks and I came out and there was a guy who looked a bit disheveled
Oh.
sitting there with his mouth. He wasn't drinking coffee or anything, but his mask was really like I wear mine to hide one of my chins. He was wearing his kind of like that too, but not to hide a chin. You could tell he was just not really paying attention to whatever. And he had a dog and just sitting there,
Mhm.
looking really lost and kind of with a backpack. Got in my car and I saw the guy next to me in his car, like looking at him too, and it all looked beyond sad. He just looked heartbreaking. And his dog actually looked like he had a little bit of a rough life too. Anyway, so I get out of my car with some money in my hand and I said, here you go. He wasn't homeless.
You was just sitting there?
He said, oh, I don't need that. I
Oh.
said, oh, are you sure?
Oh.
And he said, and I said, do you need it for the dog or anything? Dog food or whatever? He said, no, I'm not homeless or anything. He said, but he was waiting for his friend who worked at Starbucks. So he was just sitting there waiting.
Oh.
And I was really embarrassed. I just wanted to die. So I said, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were sitting there. You didn't have a drink or anything. So I didn't know if maybe I could buy you a coffee or whatever. And so we ended up talking. He had just gotten out of jail 2 days before.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Oh no.
He said so many things, but he was
Oh.
in there for 8 months. So it could be that many bad things.
Right.
I don't know what.
Oh, where did the dog come from?
So his friend who works in Starbucks, her dog died like 9 months ago. And she was like really sad over her dog. So he went out and rescued this dog for
Oh.
her. And she was too sad to take it. And she said, I just can't. I don't want to replace mine yet. And it was just so sad. So he kept the dog. And when he got arrested, he said, you have to have her now. And so when he went to jail, she said, okay, but I'm just going to look after the dog till you get out. And they're inseparable, the girl and the dog.
Oh.
So I heard the
Well,
most.
that's
not
a kudos.
That's not a raggery. That's a kudos.
No, it's both. It's kudos
Her
to
judgment
him.
is the raggery.
Yeah.
Oh, you judge.
Yes.
And raggery
Oh,
to
judge,
She
yeah.
was you're
I
ragging
mean, I
on
think it's
yourself.
great
Yes.
that you were going to be generous, but I think you have to wait for a person to go, do you have any change? And then you'll know that they're homeless or need money, I guess.
But you know what?
I
People,
love
people
it.
don't say change
That happened to
anymore.
me.
Could've been- he
When I
could've
was
just
young,
been sad.
that
could've-
happened to me, actually. I went to the beach with some friends in a van, and one of them had a dog, and I don't know. I had a dog. I walked into a 7-Eleven or something. It was wearing probably cutoffs. I was young, and with the dog, I walked into the store to get something, and then came out, and a man came over to me. He goes, "Here, I have some dog food in my car. If you would like it," and he brought the bag of dog food to me,
Maybe he wanted a
thinking-
favor from you.
thinking that
Wink, wink.
I don't think
Maybe.
so.
Okay.
I think he thought that I was homeless.
Oh, that's sad.
I probably looked it.
Probably.
But I wasn't.
Maybe
I-
we just, stay open and aware and ask
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Do you need
allow
anything?
people to ask you.
Yeah, maybe,
Be
yeah.
available for people to ask you.
But sometimes people are scared to ask or
Yeah.
shy
Right.
or
I think
proud or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good moment because you got a great story and
I did.
Right.
And was able to see there was a
Yeah.
happy ending for him. He got out of
That's a good
jail.
story.
And
it
if he just
seems-
got out of jail, you're not that far off. So you were picking up some kind of, sadness
Sad
or
vibe.
some,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sloan, do you have
Aw.
a raggery?
Well, I have a kudos, but I don't really have a raggery.
Okay, so we should say if you have a raggery,
Or kudos. If there's something
kudos,
special
yeah.
you want to share.
write to us on our social media. Share your name, and we're going to discuss it here.
Yep.
And you can go on our social media, on our Twitter.
What is it, Gloria? What's our Instagram?
I have no idea.
Our
On the
Instagram-
Rags podcast.
Our Instagram is
At On the Rags podcast.
On the Rags podcast. And our Twitter is On the Rags.
So
Yeah.
right there, and tell us either your pet peeve,
Yeah.
your raggery, or your kudos.
Yep.
Okay. We have kudos. I have one. Do you want to go, Sloan? Though.
Well, I'll stay in order.
Okay. So here's mine, which I really loved. Emirates Airline to fly COVID-19 medical aid to India for free. So Emirates Airline is going to fly, I think, lots and lots and lots of medical supplies to India for free. And I think Qatar Airlines also did the same thing last week.
I love it.
I do too. And I think we all have to go online somehow and donate to India
I agree.
because they're in trouble. They need the help, and we need to help them.
And I know you can do it through Red Cross.
Right.
'Cause
Right.
I did.
So anyway, I thought that was wonderful.
That
Now
can
I
be
love
kind of a raggery. Is why is it so bad? They kind of had a delayed
why.
problem, right?
No.
second
It's
wave.
been going on. It's the second. Last year we were in India until the week before the pandemic started. And when it started, since so many people live on the streets, it just went like wildfire there. And I mean, the poverty level is so,
I saw
it's
this
just off the
morning.
charts.
I saw the president of India
They were-
discussing it saying how they need the help
Oh,
from the world.
good.
But they have never been in really recovery. It's just gotten worse and worse with all these variants.
Anyway, I think it's wonderful that these airlines are
Me
shipping
too.
medical supplies for
Absolutely.
nothing for free. Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my kudos for
Yeah, I like that.
today.
And that's
That's
And
great.
we need the help.
I don't have anything. Moving on.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
oh no, I
yes.
did mine. Mine was a
Oh, yeah, yours was
combined
a
effort.
combined.
Uh-huh,
Yeah. Sloan?
Hello.
Okay,
So-
mine is a feel good kind of love story.
Okay.
So this was in CNN Travel, and there was this guy, and this is Valentine's of 2019. So he was Hungarian, but living in the Netherlands. I think maybe he was a banker. Anyway, he went to Goa, which is a beach town on the southwest side of India, to a yoga retreat. And there was a girl from Kerala, which is on the southwest side of India, also at this retreat. And she went out to swim on one of their breaks and got caught in the current. So he swam out to try to save her, and the current got so bad that at least he could wave to the lifeguards on the beach that he was in trouble. Anyway, they were both saved. They ended up at that moment, their eyes met, something happened, and they were both leaving in 2 days as the retreat was over, and they both delayed their return, spent a week together. He goes back to the Netherlands. She goes back to Kerala. They talk every day, and they decided they were going to meet halfway, like in Dubai, and see if there was something there. So her mother ends up getting brain cancer, and her mother lives in the northern part of India, and she has to go or wants to go be with her mother. And he says, well, I'll come help you. So he flies to Lucknow and stays with her and her family. Anyway, bottom line, they end up falling in love. She moves to Amsterdam, and they rescue a dog and live happily ever after.
What happened to the mom?
She recovered.
Oh, good.
Oh,
So
what
ha-
a good story.
So happy
Good.
story all the way around.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
See, and he sounds like an amazing man anyway.
And the
Yeah.
bottom line is she had all these rules that she wouldn't even date if a guy wasn't in a 3-mile radius.
oh,
Oh, that's funny.
that's funny.
The moral of the story is you can't really plan your life. I mean,
No,
here
or-
she meets a guy she never in a million years thought she'd date a guy who was Hungarian living in the Netherlands, and ended
Yeah.
up marrying him and move to somewhere where it's the most white city in the world,
Right.
and being an Indian girl and starting a whole new life.
Or the moral of the story could be that if somebody saves your life,
Marry them.
yeah, no matter
No,
what.
this man, he saved her life, and then he went to help her with her mother. But then
Yes.
also the
That's
moral,
Risa, thank you. You
right.
get it.
the moral of the story
This
also
is a
is
good guy.
another one of my apples of gold, which from that book, which is man makes plans and God laughs.
Yep.
Right.
That's
Right?
Oh,
the
I
story.
get
But
it.
she
Somebody-
had all these rules
Right.
and she broke them all.
Oh, I love that.
Especially you usually don't marry even outside of your
Yes, that's
caste,
true.
much less out of your country, out, and moving to a whole new world.
I love that.
Well, speaking of
story.
which, don't forget to watch White Tiger.
White
Yeah.
tiger or white dragon?
Well, I've only watched
Well,
White
but-
Tiger so far.
Oh, you never watched White Dragon?
No,
You
I'm going to
didn't
watch it tonight.
Oh,
when
I
I
thought you were
watch
Okay,
it.
watching
well, I
Billions
have,
Billions.
tonight.
wait, I have a great show for everybody.
Okay.
And this is one of Judy's recommendations, by the way, Glow.
Okay.
Stissel.
Oh, I'm watching. Oh, obsessed.
ISO. Is it fantastic?
Obsessed. Yes.
What is
Oh.
it?
It's so
An
good.
Orthodox
Well,
Jewish
Risa,
family.
You'll love it.
It's so
No,
good.
it's really good.
I'm writing it
Oh,
down.
it's so good. Stiesel. Yeah.
I did hear
Stiesel.
this, but
And Adon was like, oh, please. And now he's like, ready? Are we going to stitz it now? Are we ready for?
Oh, I love it.
writing it down.
Is that it for us for this week?
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Huh.
right, guys. Well,
Nothing
Yeah.
else? Well, then.
Nothing else to add.
Sloan,
Maybe
happy
I'm gonna do
Mother's
that.
Day.
Yes, darling. Same to everybody. Love you
Happy
all.
Mother's Day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.